Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Surfer's Journey. In today's episode, I'm going to take a look at some recent point of view footage from a couple of different surfs, and I'm going to have a look at some key learning points from those sessions. And guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe now so you can stay up to date with all of my latest videos and tutorials. And you can also follow us on Instagram at The Surfer's Journey. But for now, let's get into today's lesson of the week. In this example here, you can see me coming out to perform a top turn on a steep section. Now, if I react fast enough, I can look, turn and lean, and I can put my board all the way around and slide the tail. That would have been the perfect section and perfect opportunity for something like that. But instead I cut it short, and that was because I didn't look far enough around and I didn't rotate quick enough. In this example, we can see the opposite. This was after that maneuver, and I knew that I needed to turn, look, rotate and lean much faster in order to make that turn more critical. And you can see that by looking and doing that rotation and leaning harder, I've ultimately ended up with my board turning further, and it felt better and looked much better than that first turn. Speed is a critical part of surfing, and on waves like this you need to generate your own speed. So you can see what it looks like to generate speed. You can see that I want to throw my arms and get that lift and go to the top section of the wave, then come down slightly to that middle section, and then repeat as many times as I need to get the speed that I need to perform the maneuver that I want to do. In this turn here, we can see an example of a carve which has a little bit more spark than your traditional carve. Now, because the section was steep enough, it allowed me to push my back foot out at the end of that carve, which ultimately slid the tail. Once you get your timing and positioning right, these turns are one of my favorites. You just need the right section and the right wave to do them on. This wave demonstrates what happens when you perform a re-entry or a foam climb and you don't put any back foot extension into that maneuver. You can see that while I get my board on top of the wave, they're not as critical or not as fast as when you add that back foot extension in. If we have a look at this example, when I use back foot extension, you can see there's a very clear difference. I still have the top of the board out of the wave, but I very quickly extend my back foot and change my weight onto my front leg as I extend my back leg. This makes your re-entries much faster and allows you to release the fins at the top of the wave. Remember that when you're up and riding on a wave, you want to perform your maneuvers high and tight on the wave. So I want to perform them close to the pocket, close to the power source, and as high on the lip as I can. And to stay close to the power source, I perform my maneuvers looking back to the power source where appropriate. And this allows me to stay close to the best sections on the wave and perform maneuvers like this. In this session, I was riding my high-performance small wave board, which is the Neckbeard 3 by Channel Islands Surfboards. This board comes in a 5.7, and compared to my 5.2 Seaside, which is my high-performance fish, we can see some clear differences. You can see that this board doesn't like those fat sections as much as the fish would. The fish allows you to glide over those fat sections easily, and it's much more forgiving in the sense that you don't have to work as hard for speed, and if you make a little mistake when you're performing a maneuver, you can get away with it. But on this board, you have to work harder to generate speed, and if you make any small mistake in regards to positioning or technique, then you're going to pay for it. So with what I've just said, you might be wondering, well, why would you even have a small wave board and why are you surfing it? Well, the reason for that is that when you get better sections and you've got more speed, this board will give you more control. Not as much control as a high performance shortboard would, but then a high performance shortboard wouldn't go as well in fat small waves like this. So really, a high performance small wave board gives you the best of both worlds. And you can see that when I get a good section and I've got speed, this board lights up. It gives you more control when you've got more speed and those sections are steeper. You can push harder, you don't have to worry about the tail sliding out, which is common with those small fishy boards. This wave here demonstrates that this board would much prefer to have a steeper section than a fatter section, and it likes to have more speed when you go into those sections. Here this section wasn't very steep, it was pretty flat, and I wanted to push hard through that carve. And because I didn't have as much speed, or that section wasn't as steep as that board would like, it still was fine, but I started to bog and lose some speed through that maneuver. If we compare that to this wave here, you can see I had more speed and this section was more critical, allowing me to perform a backhand re-entry where I could lean and push hard, and you can see that rotation happened fast and I had total control. On a small wave fish, I wouldn't have been able to have the same control. While I still could have performed a backhand re-entry, I would have had to have nursed that board through that maneuver. So that's the benefit to a small wave performance board, and that's why I choose to surf them on the right day. Guys, thanks for watching the video today. I hope that some of the points that I've mentioned will help you the next time that you go surfing. And if you have any questions about anything, please put them in the comment section below. Remember to like the channel and comment below to let me know what other videos you'd like to see. Thanks guys, catch you in the water. The Surfer's Journey now has a range of apparel available, from beanies to t-shirts to hats and coffee cups. For more information on how you can place your order, email thesurfersjourney@gmail.com.